Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm using another bundle from the new mini catalog that comes out on July 1st. It is the Bewitching bundle, which has 3 witch hats and some witch feet, some stars, and a little spider hanging down. And it has a punch that coordinates, which is the Witch Hat Builder Punch, which has the hat, a hat band, and some stars on the side. Alrighty. What I made was a double full-size candy bar box. So it will fit 2. In here right now are a Milky Way and a Snickers bar. So it could fit 2 of those or anything similar to a Milky Way and a Snickers bar. Alrighty, it measures 5 inches by 3 inch by 1. So you can put other smaller treats, a bunch of smaller treats in there if you wanted to. Now, of course, I use the Bewitching bundle, which is the Bewitching stamp set and the Witch Hat Builder Punch. I also use, for the sentiment, I used Best Witches from Best Witches, that sentiment. I used the Stylish Shapes dies for this banner behind and for the stitched circle. Now this wavy circle here is new from the annual catalog. It is called the Decorative Circle Punch. I really like this a lot. You don't have to go through cutting it out with your die cutting machine, so if you want to do multiples you could just punch them out. So I do like this new punch we have. So I'm going to show you what we need for this project. Now we need a piece of granny apple green cardstock that is 9 by 7. We need a scrap of Daffodil Delight for the sentiment. We need one of the largest labels from the Stylish Shapes dies out of granny apple green. Now this cardstock is not cardstock, it is DSP. This is from the Hosts paper, which is free. Well, you can use it, you get some with your Stampin' Rewards. Celebrate Everything Host set. Now you don't have to use this, I just thought it went well with this, but you could use some different background. Just don't make it too patterned because we have the, we want to showcase the hat on the top. So that's what I cut this out with the Decorative Circle Punch. This is a circle from the Stylish Shapes dies out of Highland Heather, and it is 2 5/8. Okay, and then this is from the Gingham Cottage DSP. We need 1 piece that is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4, 2 pieces that are 4 3/4 by 3/4, and 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 3/4. And all of this will be on my blog. All right, so let's get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 9-inch side. And we're going to score at 1, 4, 5, and 8. Okay, then we're going to turn it to the 7-inch side and we're going to score at 1 and at 6. Okay, now I'm going to fold and burnish all the score lines. Okie dokie. Now, this has a 1-inch strip all the way around, so you want it to be, well, this way is the longest. Okay, so this is the 9-inch side, and all we're going to do is cut the rectangle straight and wedge the squares. All right, so we're going to start on the bottom left, and we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge each side of the box. Okay, just keep all of the rectangle sides straight and wedge each sides of each square. Okay, the next one. Okay, then we're going to turn it 180 and do the same thing. And that's what your cardstock should look like after you've done cutting it and scoring it. Alright, now we're going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape on every tab, one close to the score line and one close to the edge. Okay, and I'm going to get my Take Your Pick tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left. And I'm going to take the backings off of all of these. And we're going to attach it to this side rectangle on this panel. So we're going to shoot for getting the score line straight with the side of the rectangle. We're going to do that on both the sides. Okay, now we're going to do the next set, and we're going to attach it to the box, and that will make the bottom of our box. Okay, same thing, score line straight with the side of the rectangle. Okay, and that's what we have. Okay, now we're going to put the top together. Okay, and the same thing, the score line with the side of the rectangle. And there's your box. Okay, now I'm just going to take this off. And we'll put our 2 Snickers inside here. I can show you how nicely it fits in there. Okay, there's a tiny bit of room. You can put a little grass in there if you wanted, but I wanted to leave a little extra room in case your whatever you pick is a little bit longer or a tiny bit wider. Alright, now I'm going to get my Gingham Cottage DSP. And first let's put one of the side ones that is 4 3/4 by 3/4 right on this front piece here. And I'm going to use liquid glue. Okay, and when that's on, I'm going to take a small circle punch. I'm just going to cut a little finger hole about right in the middle. Okay, so that makes it much easier to open. Okay, then we'll put the other 4 3/4 by 3/4 piece on the back. Now, I didn't put one on the bottom of the box, but you can if you want to, down here. And then the 2 side pieces are 2 3/4 by 3/4. And the top piece, which is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, now we'll let that dry. And we're going to do a little stamping. So we need our piece of basic white and some Tuxedo Black ink. And because this is a solid image, even though it is a cling stamp set, I really want to make sure it comes on really nicely. So I'm going to put the Stampin' Pierce mat underneath it. You could also use your Stamparatus if you wanted to. Great, I got a little over here, but that gets punched off. Okay, so let's get my punch. Okay. Alrighty. Now we need our piece of the Host stamp set Celebrating Everything, and the decorative circle punch is what I cut that out with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where it is that I want my little spider, about right up there. So I'm just going to put a tiny little mark around where I want the end of the spider string to be. And this, well, let's just see if it's hard, because I kind of, with this, I kind of wish it was a photopolymer set. And let's just try to get it there. Yeah, it's really not too hard. All right, because you can also adjust the hat just a little bit to decide where you want it. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to stamp is the sentiment Best Witches, and that is from the Best. And the last thing we're going to stamp is onto the scrap of Daffodil Delight, our sentiment, which says Best Witches, which is from the Best Witches stamp set. Because this stamp set is all images, it doesn't have any sentiments on it. All right. Okay, now I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring with some Stampin' blends, but it's really not hard. I used all darks, Highland Heather, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Pumpkin Pie. Okay, and first we'll use the Highland Heather. I'm just going to do a few. Okay, and then we'll do the band and a couple of the dots with dark Pumpkin Pie. And then Daffodil Delight. And finally, Granny Apple Green. Okay. And that's all the coloring. Okay, so now I'm going to put my hat on here how I think I want it with liquid glue. Okay. All right. Maybe a little, can I turn it a little bit? It's okay, however it lands up, right? All right. Now we need our circle out of Highland Heather from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it is 2 5/8, and we're just going to glue this whole piece onto the circle. Alright, and then I think I'm going to pop this up this time. Alright, I'm going to get 2 dimensionals. I'm going to put it, let me make sure. I should have probably put them on here. Alright, we want so that the spider kind of hangs down straight. And then you want to make sure that you put it kind of evenly onto there. So you can use glue if you don't want to have to mess with that with dimensionals. Alrighty. And then We're going to put dimensionals on the whole piece and put it right in the middle here. And then I'm just going to center it in the middle. Whoops. Okay. I made the spider a little crooked, but that's okay. It's probably best if you glue it onto this piece, because then you won't be too worried about everything. You can move it as you put it down. Okay. Now I'm going to take about 25 inches of the black and white gingham ribbon, and I'm going to wind it around the right side of the box about twice. Yeah. And then I'm going to take one of the pieces and put it behind both and tie a bow. Just trim it a little bit. And I'm going to pull it apart at the bottom. And it doesn't really pull apart at the top, so that's fine. Ooh, just bent it. Okay, and then for the final touch, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take some Wink of Stella and I'm going to put that on the hat band to make it a little shimmery. Okay. And I'm going to use some Glossy Dots Assortment. I'm going to use the ones that are Gorgeous Grape, I believe. Yep, Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to put a big one up here, middle size one right there, and the small one right up on there. Okay, and that's not the final touch. I almost forgot about our sentiment. So I'm just going to cut these by hand as close as you can get. And then I'm going to cut both of the words right in half here. And I'm going to put best there and witches underneath it. Okay, with just glue. Best. And witches. Okay, and there you go. I hope you enjoyed this full-size candy bars box. If you have any questions, my email is below. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I upload a new video. My address is below to purchase from Stampin' Up, because I am an independent demonstrator, and also the link to my blog, which has all the measurements. All right, have a really great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.